The last few episodes, we had a lot of city services and we added a lot of public transportation. Our bus system, our tram system. We also expanded to a new subdivision out here with an elementary school. School's still a top priority, but we're going to take a little bit of break from that. You can see we do have this new farming area that I built off camera as just a test to see about using custom surfaces to make farms. And we also use better bulldozer to get rid of the fences. I feel like this makes a much more realistic looking farming area. And we take a high view of it. You can definitely see those colors look really nice compared to the farms down here. We will blend in some of the regular grain farms as well, but the whole point of today's episode is eminent domain is going to kick in for these farmers very soon. And we wanted to start establishing somewhere new that's going to be our long-term agricultural hub. And the best area that I thought of was where these two highways do cross. They intersect here. Got a major road coming into town that leads to our main street. And then you have the other highway cutting east-west here that comes through in a nice intersection. But the thing that's inspiring me is this is our main road into town. As you head out of town, we want this to start looking like a rural area, a lot more trees eventually around everywhere. We come into this section, we start getting to farmland. And as we get a little bit closer, there's just a small, tiny town out here. So I did do a lot of the major road layout of the arterials here, and they're all highways right now. A majority of them are, and they might change over time. They might stay. They may go. Like this one is gotta be a problematic one with the way the railroad crosses, so we'll have to figure that out long term. But I want to start with our focus here on Meadow Street and what is this one called? In Autumn Street. And we're going to build a little small town out here. So the first thing I want to do is start adding some very small commercial buildings that are right on the highway. Yeah, like that. Oh, we do need to get water out here. We will solve that in a second. But right here, I want to try to find a gas station. I think a 4x5 or a 4x6 might be nice. We'll throw that on the corner. That will work. We'll get these to come in, but let's give them their own water tower as well out here. We're going to start using districts soon, and I just haven't completely landed on how I want to do that yet. I think electricity is connected out here. We'll see in a second. They'll still need a connection to sewage, and I believe we should be able to just run this into town, and we might as well just run these together here. Just straight down Main Street. All right, they are in now. I think one of my biggest complaints is how long things take to actually build here in this game. Start seeing what we want to see here. We got these power lines. So this road will most likely get severed a little bit. Let's go ahead and build out a little node here so that we can remember exactly where this is. All right, we got a couple food stores that came in and a furniture store. I think we will keep adding. And we're gonna go on both sides here. And I definitely wanted these to have their own dedicated parking lots, just definitely looking like a rural area. And to just slowly start showing how we're going to solve all of this out here, we're going to build just kind of like a somewhat of a frontage road here. And now that I look at this, I think an alley would probably look better out here, not necessarily the gravel road or the dirt road. We're gonna throw a couple, let's go, I think I want to do the Netherlands style here. I believe that's what the NL is. And we're gonna throw just a tiny little property here. I want to see how these come in, but we definitely want to get a farm going out here. And let's go ahead and do a grain farm. We're going to give them a little bit more breathing room like that. And we're going to come out just a hair here, a couple squares. And then we're going to stay a few squares behind these properties. And not necessarily focus on using all the dedicated space that we can, but try to make somewhat of a realistic looking farm that this family would own, something like that. But they will give them a little gravel road that leads into their property here. And let's see where water is broken down. Nope, they're good. They are good. And to make these changes that we did, I want to first come in here with better bulldozer. We're going to select the remove sub-elements tool, and then we're going to switch to our tier 2 sub-elements. And then we can kind of just hover over here and delete these fences. I just don't feel like they look very realistic. All right, we got all of them, well, almost all of them removed. Got this one back here as well. So that works really good. These are coming in together. We'll take a look at that in a second. But then we're gonna come in here to the surfaces that we have added and all types of farming ones here. I think we'll go with the carrot hedge on this one. I haven't used that yet. And just basically covering up this farming texture with a new one, or surface, I should say, like so. And it just looks so much more realistic. And we start getting the cultivator out there, it looks like, or a disc to start breaking up the ground. But gosh, it just looks so much better already. Got their little silo here. Then we can also come in here and lock it. I don't remember what mod does that, but we're gonna lock it at level 1. And it just starts to give us that look that we're looking for here. It's this rural area. We are getting some traffic, and that's gonna just come and go, but we'll probably end up upgrading this highway eventually. Yeah, I don't really want these next to each other, so we'll go ahead and take that away, and gonna have to keep manipulating the grid a little bit here, like so, and then we should be able to just put 2 here, we'll put 2 here, and then demolish this one. Yeah, it'll cause a crazy traffic jam. It seems to come and go, but I do want to come off this road as well. We'll go at a 90, and we're gonna add another farm here. Let's do vegetables for this one, and I will put them to the side like that. I actually think I will leave this one with that default surface, and we are going to lock it as well. So let's look at how we're doing with our productions right now. Grain, we're tearing it up. Livestock, we're doing pretty good. Vegetables, we're still a little bit behind, and textiles or cotton, we're doing pretty good as well. Yeah, I am liking the way this is turning out here. What do we get over here? It's a fancy building. Vehicles, they're selling vehicles out here. Okay, so that's what I wanted to learn. Locking this does not prevent these buildings from popping up. So one of the things I wanted to attempt to do was kind of showcase that this was part of the actual farm and try to use textures to handle that. So I'm gonna find one that matches what we have in here already, but it looks like I can extend this. So I want to play around with an idea of building this out a little bit. Kind of working, and then kind of just work this back to our road here. It's just kind of a sample of what we could do to make these farms look more realistic than the City Skylines developers made it. We do want anarchy on for this. Oh, yeah, gotta be careful, otherwise you lose textures, but that's all right. We are gonna replace it with our dirt road here. And then if we come in like this, I think we can just replace this with some dirt. And now, the thing I don't know is if this building's gonna disappear and then all of this work is kind of pointless. But then also thinking about taking a grass texture, and we'll go vanilla grass for this to show a separation of the field. And we'll have to probably figure out the right texture for that, but you can kind of see what we're going with here as to show that maybe this is a separate field from this. And I think I'm just gonna keep going because this is kind of neat. Let's keep doing this. You know, obviously finishing the grass texture, and we'll figure that out, but I think that's something that I was kind of like going for here, where it looks like we have one field here and one field here. And when we back out, it just looks a little bit more realistic than what we have back here. All right, now let's go back to one of the things we were looking at with our residential here. Yeah, this is not what I'm looking for. Let's go ahead and zone this a little differently. Let's do like a UK here and then a regular North American one right here, and maybe try out one of the Eastern Europeans, or a couple of them next to each other. I think I want to go out to give a little bit of breathing room between houses out in these areas. Yeah, it's not perfect yet, but we'll keep working on it and making it look a little bit better. I do want to get some more trees established in here now. It's just kind of like a barrier between properties, as well as just showing that this area, you know, eventually we want this to look like this was a extremely forested area. The whole bay, or the whole town. And we're replacing the things that we've removed to build our town, if that made any sense. And with anarchy off, I am just going to kind of use the brush to add in some trees, add multiple types in here as well, as much as it'll let me. Yeah, and I think that is starting to come along and starting to look like I wanted it to. And let's see how these homes came in. Oh, absolutely. Let's go ahead and de-zone this one though, just to give them some breathing room. But I think those will work. Now that is sweet. This Eastern European one kind of goes in this farming area, and really just a blink of an eye. I know there's been those towns that you've driven through that is just like, oh, we're here, now it's gone. Yeah, sometimes we just get a little carried away with what we're wanting to work on, and it goes a little sideways. So we do have a lot of farms out here, and I feel like it's fair to kind of let you guys know where the inspiration came from. I was debating just laying out a ton of farms throughout the rest of the area, the rest of this, like, I guess this area that's zonable. We can look at the squares that we could purchase. And I believe with the mod we have installed, we can unlock all of these. But I was kind of like, for example, thinking about putting farms all the way throughout all of these areas, and then slowly repurposing the land when it came time for expansion. I'm falling in love with this area to where I think I want to keep it now. So we did decide to get rid of the bridge for the railroad. So it does cross all of these roads, and I'm not 100% sure I'm going to keep all of these railroad crossings. We'll probably change that a little bit. I was also modifying some of these roads to be alleys and not highways. I was getting a lot of heavy traffic through this area, and it just wasn't working out great. So the farm that we did detail did expand. So I had it set to lock in here. It doesn't make a difference. So I wanted to let the game kind of play for a good amount of time before I started detailing some of these up again, because you can see this one got kind of messed up by that as well. So I do have some plans, but I want to get this little area that we've zoned going. So one of the things I do, well, let's talk about this too. We do have a cargo train station here that is just agriculture. Right now, this is just, it's just bumping back and forth between our cargo terminal here and this one, making sure we have all the grains we need. I did evict these farms as well. One of the next things we're going to do is get the dairy house and the cereal mill moved over, but we need to get that long-term area figured out. And we're going to add a little bit of industrial as well out here that's going to be specific to agriculture. We can see we do have this one here that takes in vegetables and livestock and produces food. So the thought is, you know, they're going to be feeding the people that are around here in our new to-be-determined district. Right now we have 43 residents. And when we go down and find Cotton Bay and click on it, you can see is when I hover over it where we've kind of designated the district. That might change a little bit. We have 19,000. And another to be determined, we have about 6,200 over here. So we're at 25,000 population. We have, you know, $8 million in the bank because of how much time I let pass. But it's time to start kind of thinking about this stuff here. And I want to start with some services because I've been doing it a little bit backwards lately, and I think a community firehouse or just this little tiny one's going to be perfect for us out here. And I think I want to kind of keep it centralized, and this is going to kind of turn into, you know, the main intersection. So if we do pop it right there, I think that'll work good. As far as police as well, I do want to kind of just go with the same style out here and kind of just put those next to each other. Now, I don't know if we can change the colors on these. Doesn't look like it. That's okay. We do have our original commercial buildings that we put down still hanging out here and getting ready to really finish out that. So we do have police and fire. We'll get some bus routes out here eventually. I don't think we'll do that today. I do want to take a look at some parks before we get too far. We do have the dog park that I think we'll put right about there. Fits really good there, so we'll add that. And then on the outskirts here, I think we'll add a couple more of the little ones, but I want the city parks, not necessarily ones that'll work for other things. This is a nice asset. I think I'm gonna place that. We'll put it out right here, and it's just a nice passage, and I think that will work. And I think we'll add a couple more. Maybe this town has like a nice area where there is a merry-go-round like this. I'm kind of making the central area look a little good with the parks, and then we're going to come into education right here. Maybe the northeast is the thing to do out here. We put the elementary school, and we're going to actually move this to there because the high school is super close to fitting. So I think what we'll do is prime, what is this? Whatever that road was, we're going to go ahead and get rid of. And we're going to get the high school to fit in here. And we were going with somewhat of a design to mix up the grid, but I think this kind of determined us to change it a little bit. So now that we have this open area, let's go ahead and move this back to this corner. And yeah, that'll give a good facility there for the elementary schools. And yeah, I did decide that this is going to be an ag town, an agricultural town, but we are going to have a small, somewhat subdivision. We're going to have some commercial flow through here. This does need moved. We'll move it back to, excuse me, back to the back end of town here. And why was that not wanting to... Oh, I guess it would work. Okay. So this corridor here and through here will probably be some industry as well as right here. So let's go ahead and get a little more of our commercial going. And we are going to use northeast here as well. Wait, this is mixed. We want to go to commercial. We'll do some northeast. Small little lots here. As all of these commercials start coming in, I do want to start looking at our residential zoning. We're definitely going low density. I don't think we'll see any medium or anything other than low density out here. And let's go ahead and let's I don't know if Southwest will work. Let's do a couple here, and I do want to let these come in just to see them. Yeah, this northeast is looking way better. I think I will rezone these as well for commercial northeast. Yeah, I mean, these work good, but this one I'm not a big fan of, so I don't know if that's a size issue. They were all 3x3, so let's see if these two corner ones come in the same as that last one, and see if that is the actual problem there. Yeah, it looks like the corner units are coming in. If we went ahead and zoned like that, we might have a better shot at something coming in that we want. And we're just gonna have to, some of these are gonna be touching. Now I'm wondering if these gaps will look okay. long term. With some detailing, I think they will. So let's go ahead and we're gonna wait for these to come in and see what the verdict is, and then we'll do some mass zoning. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Let's go ahead and change the zoning to just be our regular. I really want to see a north or a Midwest mod pack would be beautiful. We're just gonna keep doing 3x3s on here. All right, pretty much. Oh, we did miss a couple spots, but a lot of our areas did come in here. Definitely giving me the vibe I was looking for. I mean, no way you're gonna fill up this 1,200 students, 800 for the high school. But you can see, yeah, it's getting a little busy traffic-wise around here, which we're okay with. Definitely don't mind that on this channel. I think the commercial's gotta be a little more snug. And then we'd also want to probably come this way with the commercial too, at least for a little bit. So we'll go ahead and upgrade this road to match, to be zonable, I guess. And I had that disabled when we did that. So let's upgrade those. And then this little road here, I don't want anything zoned on. But this one, yeah, will be the little change up right here. Okay, so I am going to grab our commercial, and we did northeast, and I am going to go 4 deep and just come all the way across here and just kind of see what happens. And we'll probably demolish most of these buildings to let them regenerate. All right, with demands and all the things, I think we will have to wait for some of these to actually come in. But we want to shift now. We're going to switch it to ×1. We do have 1 ag building down here like we did show. I want to add a few more. And we're going to come in here. We're going to select just the industrial manufacturing. But I think to help me out here, I do want to add a few parking lots. And we find the size that we want. I think these ones are going to do. So we'll just, there's a break in the grid there. So if we just go, yeah, 4, we'll put one right here. And then let's go ahead and let's put some on the other side too. Kind of, I think we'll mirror right here. Oh, maybe if it lets me. It's not happy with some of the zoning with that zone toolkit that we're using. So we will just kind of force them down where we want them, then get it zoned. So that gap's gonna bother me. But first time using the zones this way, so we'll see what type of buildings do pop in here, if they're all gonna look exactly the same or not. So I just see 2 that I'm not satisfied with. We have this other one about to come in, so I am going to have this one and that one regenerate and hope that a smokestack does not show up. But these are kind of cool. We do have some silos here to hold some grains. This one's holding livestock, and they must be feeding them while they're there, because I don't know why you would need that. This one's holding vegetables. Very good. That's strange. These are supposed to be for ag. That's much better. A little silo here. Look at this. With the grain in there, and then this one. Perfect. So no smokestacks here. Now back here, we're going to do the same, and I think, yeah, we're going to respect this gap here of this farm and just zone a good amount here. Let's pause it for a second. I do want to fix the zoning over here and do the same thing that we just did. So we have residential, no, this is commercial back here, so we can come in here and we'll snap to the grid again and see it just doesn't like it when we use that tool sometimes. But I think I figured it out. I think we need to just go to the edge of the road. And we'll just get some of these parking lots established. And we might have asked for too much agricultural industrial here. But it should come in over time. But if there's never a need for it, I don't think it will. So it's a little bit, you know, we're learning a little bit more here. So now in this area, I want to build out a little bit of a complex. And let's say we'll go at 184 there and just cut over. The first thing I want to do is relocate the cereal mill and relocate the dairy house right by the cargo terminal. And this is going to get some of these roads, some of these parking lots here, just completely around the back like that, and really let this kind of sit for future development in this area. So that completely frees us up down here to do the expansion that we want to very soon. Almost 200,000 a month. This one's almost, 330 a month. Pretty sweet. So now they should only have to, they should be able to get some goods from here to bring it here to produce it. Let's go ahead and upgrade these now. And I guess that was the only one that had an upgrade, but I think that looks pretty sweet. Now, I wish I could just place another one of those, but it seems like they are a unique building. But I do want to see if there's anything else that we were missing in here. Athletic wear. Don't think we want that. Maybe we do. So this takes in cotton and makes textiles. And we're going to instantly do the upgrade. And this is going to be something that maybe this is the building that caused the expansion that we did see out here of houses instead of it just being an agriculture. I do want to move this, take off snapping, and turn it to this road. But I do want to back it off just a hair. And then we'll probably come in with some alleys to start with. And I think this one we will continue for another connection here. And then this one we're gonna make a connection, but it'll be something we haven't really done with those angles. Now we have that all up looking good, but that's not what we wanted. So let's see if we can pull this off still. And we'll go like right there and right here if it lets me. Give it a little gap to breathe. Make sure that it's aligned correctly. It's not, but that's all right. We will come in like this and then get rid of that last little bit. And that'll give us some parking here at what's going to end up being 178 employees. I don't think we'll be able to completely feed this. So I think that instantly what we would do is we'll go into our buses and we'll add one of our nice bus stops on each side of the road here. And create a simple route just for that. And then finish it up there. And let's go into our bus routes. And I don't know what this is called yet, but I do want to make it green for agriculture, I guess. And we'll just call this ag line for now, until the town is named. So this is a big facility out here. This might end up causing a little bit more residential growth out this way long term. But I think that's coming in the way we want to. The industry is not, though. Even though we have a little bit of a demand, but again, that's going to be specific to ag. So I don't know if we come out here and add a new farm. And let's just go with a grain farm and give it its road for access. And that's going to complain, though, isn't it? Let's go ahead and preemptively add our water lines. Oops, I want to upgrade that. That worked. And then also we'll add some underground. Well, maybe we'll do real ones to kind of just like connect like that. Did that give it power? It did not. Did it? Nope, it did not. And to make things work here, I'll just go under the ground, connect to there. So that should be good, but it doesn't like the sewage still. What's going on here? That should do it. Okay. And then we'll do another one right out here. And I just want to see if this does stimulate a little bit of agricultural industrial. Even though this is kind of part of that. It didn't seem to. So maybe this needs to be something different back here. Maybe we will call an audible and we'll do a little bit more residential back here. It's somewhat quick and dirty, but I do like the way this is turning out for our little town here. Some more detailing left to do, but man, nice little area. This place is making $1 million a month. Look at our income going up. Wowzer. Now I don't want to lose I don't want to take a risk of losing the zoning that we have here. So we will end up fixing this a little bit. So let's go ahead and push these about right there. And then we'll deselect some. and move a couple more a little bit just to see if we can pull this off without, like I said, without losing these buildings. And then it should be as simple as just adding a road in between here. This one's still not happy. Yeah, we'll add a couple things in there for that, but then let's go ahead and finish this grid a little bit. D-zone. Calling lots of audibles today. D-zone this and make sure all of these are able to be upgraded to be zonable here. And add a little bit more residential. So a whole lot of detailing to go on these farms, but I'm loving this new town. Help me out with names, guys. We'll see if we can extend this industrial area a little bit, but I do like the size of it for now. Looking pretty sweet. It sure feels like a nice addition in a nice town. Let's see how many population it ended up getting to, or how high it is. 500, you know, just under 1,000. Be interesting to see if it does get a little bit bigger, and I guess we do need to... I guess we could extend the district a little bit. At least as far as it'll let us right now. So we do need a name. We do need a name for our new town. And I would like a name for this one as well. Would love some suggestions. Was thinking about calling this South Cotton, and then, I don't know, like North Cotton, but I don't know. Colors are coming in nice. I decided to hold back on doing the extreme detailing like we did on this farm with the other ones, because it was just so much work just to do that one. And I don't know if they're going to change again. Don't know if they're going to change again. Things aren't... How are people getting to work here? Not a single car in the parking lot. Sorry, it's making a ton of money, $1 million a month. That is insane. These ones are doing pretty good as well. Our depot... Our cargo terminal does have a good amount of goods in it. And on over here should be looking good. So crude oil and coal, definitely something we're struggling with in this town. You can see, yeah, there's so much we could do. There's like, we're still behind on livestock after all of that. So we'll keep an eye on this as we expand and add more farms, but we're gonna get back to town. Potentially try to attack some of this traffic, but I do think there's a major flaw in my design. Hoping people are using this path here, but they're still coming in on this weaving highway, taking a left and going into town. So an actual highway system is definitely needed, but gosh, it's coming together, guys. These two areas will start blending, or the three areas will start blending together and start working their way over to the industrial area, which is probably going to get somewhat of a facelift now that I understand the cargo terminals a little bit better on that mod we added. I think I killed one of our external routes, so we're going to take a deeper look at that next episode as well, make sure everything's looking good and coming together nice, but super excited to start blending in here. Large commercial district gonna go in, maybe some medium density housing up through here, maybe some city services, adding to the city services potentially. We might need a welfare office, maybe a town hall. We need a welfare office and maybe a civic center. City hall would be pretty cool. Didn't really plan for one of those, but it would be nice to maybe get one in here. And I'm sure there's lots of other things we haven't unlocked in our little development tree here. University's coming soon too. We're way behind on that. How did we do with our education today? We're getting closer. We're getting a little bit better, but this is where I am going to leave you. I can ramble all night long. Thanks for hanging out. I'm absolutely loving our unnamed new town. It's coming together nice as we keep expanding. I think we'll see changes in the whole area. This is so cool, guys. I'm Socksway up. I'll catch you on the next one.